days where you feel like your emotions are all over the place? Like one minute you're laughing, the next minute you're crying, and you just feel like you don't know what the heck is going on, but you want to get out of that funk? If you have, then this video is for you because today I am talking all about emotions and specifically how emotions are waves. One of the things that I know a lot of people struggle with is this notion or this idea that being spiritual or being an awakened person, an enlightened person, is all about being somebody who's always zen, always super cool, doesn't react, and is just, just like that, no matter what happens. It's important that we talk about this because I really want you to know that the Dalai Lama or Deepak Chopra or any other spiritual master that you really admire, who you feel is Zen or has achieved a really balanced state of inner peace, they were not born out of the womb with that state of mind, okay? They, like the rest of us, are human. And there were things that they did to develop themselves to get to the place that they're at now. Emotions are part of the process. Emotions are not bad. Emotions are not things that we need to throw away. So, for example, our anger is not something that's bad. Our pain is not something that's bad. Even the reaction, to something that's happening is not bad. It simply is what it is. Okay, I'm going to expand a little more on this. Our emotions are like waves. They float in and out of our conscious awareness. And what they're actually linked to are our thoughts. So, quite literally, as our thoughts flow in and out, you know how you have like 1,000 thoughts a minute. Well, maybe not 1,000, but you know what I'm saying. As your thoughts flow in and out, so too do your emotions go up and down. They are connected, all right? And so the practice that people like the Dalai Lama or Deepak Chopra or whatever spiritual master that you admire who you feel has achieved inner peace does is they practice simply being the observer of their emotions. There are a lot of ways to do this. Some people do it with meditation. Some people do it with breathing exercises. If you continue to practice this over time, you get better at being the observer. Okay? Now, where a lot of us struggle is we try to control our emotions. We deem them bad. And so then what we try to do is stuff them down. Like we try to stuff them way down. People who work with coaches and therapists and people of that nature, what they're doing is they're actually working on a lot of repressed emotions, things that happened in their childhood that now need to be processed as an adult so that they can actually react less and be more in charge of their emotions. Here's what happens when we don't process our emotions and when we try to stuff them down. When we don't process our emotions, one of two things happen. We become either a ticking time bomb, or B, we have toxic things in our lives that are helping us to process our emotions. Let's talk about A, the ticking time bomb. This is when all the reactions start to happen. Why? Because you're constantly being triggered because you have emotions that are dying, just like dying to be dealt with and dying to get out. And so, because our brains know that we require our emotions to be processed in order to be mentally well and physically healthy people, it's constantly going to reoccur and reoccur and reoccur until we deal with it, because it knows, like our bodies know, that that is what is required for us to heal mentally, emotionally, and physically. So you'll continue to react and you'll continue to be triggered so that you can deal with your emotions. Now, on to B, okay? What happens with B now is, if you're not the ticking time bomb, then you are somebody who's got some addiction stuff going on, okay? And all of us have some kind of addiction, okay? So let's not pick and judge on, people for whatever the addiction is. Just understand that that is a part of how humans process emotions when they do not process them in a way that is most healthy. Addictions to food, okay? So overeating, and also as well, under eating, okay? So anything food related that isn't healthy is one way that we process emotions. Drugs, and alcohol, which, alcohol is a drug, but drugs and alcohol, smoking, overworking, sex addictions, addictions to Facebook. People get addicted to all kinds of things. And here's the other thing to understand as well is, people think about addictions and we always think about things that are bad, but understand that you can even be addicted to something that's great for your health. It can easily be another way to avoid processing your emotions when you're always just jumping into an activity and not really dealing with what's happening underneath the surface. So when I say addiction, I'm not only talking about like just things that people think are bad, I'm also talking about like, people who maybe over exercise or um, God, overexercise is the first one that comes to mind, but like always available and always helping people out, kind of like the 27 dresses thing. If you think about it, like you just become addicted to like helping or addicted to volunteering or whatever the thing is, okay? It can be a way for you to escape dealing with your emotions. So that's another way as well that it will show up. Now I want to move right on to us really looking at like closing up the video and just recapping and giving some final pointers here. So here's the key takeaway from this video. You're a human being and you have emotions, and your emotions need to be processed. If you don't process your emotions, they're going to show up in some form, particularly with your emotions going up and down all over the place or you being triggered. If you want to be like someone like the Dalai Lama or like a Deepak Chopra, you really want to achieve that kind of level of inner peace, what it takes is you actually giving yourself some freedom, having compassion for yourself, and allowing your emotions rather than trying to stuff them down, repress them, or dishonor them. Don't call yourself names and don't go to that vice, whatever it is. Just be the observer. This takes practice, but if you continue to practice, soon, gosh darn it, you will be as good as the Dalai Lama or Deepak Chopra. You guys, if you like this video, like it, let me know. If you want more videos like this, then I will do them. How I know what you guys are interested in is by your comments and by your likes. So like the video if you want to hear more of this stuff. And if you got questions, leave them in the comments. I promise I will answer every question that comes up. Um, Also with that, you want to subscribe to this channel. Why? Because when you subscribe, every time I release a new video, it goes right to your inbox. This way you never miss a video. And finally, if you're looking for some additional information, and particularly on anything regarding this topic or self-love or anything like that, you can go to www.moderndaywisewoman.com. Check out the programs there. A lot of my clients are doing similar work with me one-on-one and they love it. So that's an option for you as well. All right, that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye.